Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Craig Burrell, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Lieutenant Colonel Matt Shepley. We warmly welcome the family of Corporal Thomas Allen Shepley, whose story will be told by Colonel Shepley, who was the grandson of Corporal Thomas Shepley's brother. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Please sit if you wish to do so. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the hearts of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Corporal Thomas Allen Shepley. Thomas Shepley, known by his middle name Allen, was born on the 18th of May 1895, the eldest son of Harry and Alice Annie Shepley of the Adelaide suburb of Goodwood. Allen was educated at the Goodwood Public School and then at the Adelaide High School, Prince Alfred College and the Murden Business College. He went on to work as a member of the clerical staff at the South Australian Railways, working in the locomotive department at Islington. He was an active member of the local militia and was closely connected with St George's Church at Goodwood. Allen Shepley enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force shortly after the outbreak of war in 1914, sharing a tent with Willie Harris from North Adelaide. Because of his previous military service, Allen was given the rank of corporal shortly after enlistment and was posted to the 16th Battalion. He was described as having an innate sense of modesty, something that some of his friends thought prevented him from further promotion. He underwent a period of training before leaving Australia for active service overseas and continued training in Egypt. He was given the nickname Shep, and Harris later told his parents, "A cleaner, straighter, manlier fellow than your son never donned khaki, and everyone whose opinion mattered loved and admired him." Allen was a devout Christian and deplored the actions of some Australians in Cairo, saying, "It beats me that fellows can risk losing eternity for the sake of a few years of wrongdoing here." He put his strong Christian beliefs into everything he did, and Harris later said he was not ashamed to carry his Christianity into his daily life. The 16th Battalion landed on Gallipoli Peninsula on the afternoon of the 25th of April, incurring minimal casualties. Almost immediately, the battalion was divided and called forward to reinforce a weak front line in the vicinity of Pope's Hill. Over the following days, the front line was slowly organised, and on the 30th of April, the battalion was withdrawn to Monash Valley for a brief rest. Whilst there, it was under constant enemy sniper fire, and the exhausted men received little respite. On the morning of the 2nd of May, the 16th Battalion received word that they would assault a Turkish trench as part of a general forward movement. As they advanced, the men were reportedly in overflowing spirits, advancing under a bombardment of artillery fire. As they reached their jumping-off positions, the bombardment eased, and it was later recalled that scarcely a sound penetrated the depths of the valley. But as the men reached the top of the ridge, a heavy fire from the Turks opened on them, causing many casualties. The attack crumbled as the 16th Battalion suffered heavy casualties, even as the men continued to make more attacks from hastily prepared positions over the following days. Corporal Allen Shepley did not survive. Willie Harris wrote to Allen's parents saying, "He was in the thick of a charge when he was hit and was gone instantly. Knowing how dear your boy was to us, who loved him, I can dimly realise how great is your sad loss. Those who remain of the old battalion will be better and pure for having known him." Allen Shepley was buried in Beach Cemetery at Anzac, where he lies today under the simple inscription, "His duty done." He was 20 years old. His name is listed on the honour roll to my right among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. His photograph is displayed beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Corporal Thomas Allen Shepley, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Posiguer or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and we wish you all a very good evening.